Hello, this is the RPG Crawler, and welcome to my RPG News Roundup, this time for November 16th, 2024, where each week I take a look back at the week in tabletop, computer, and console role-playing game news and bring you the highlights. As always, we will start with computer and console role-playing game news. It looks like there will be a collaboration DLC with Stellar Blade in Nier Automata. The DLC will release on November 20th and have the character Emil bring his shop to Stellar Blade. Then, Alaloth, Champions of the Four Kingdoms, has a release date set. It will hit on November 21st. It is a sort of action RPG with an isometric view that has been in early access since this summer. Riviera, The Promised Land, a JRPG, is getting a release on Switch on November 28th. It has been available on the PC for a few months now. The Thaumaturge is set to hit consoles on December 4th. It has been available on PC since April. Now it will hit the PS5 as well as the Xbox Series X/S. There is a demo currently available on those platforms. Urban Strife is going to hit early access on November 10th. It'll be a turn-based strategy post-apocalyptic survival game with RPG elements from Microprose. Now, there's a name I have not heard in many a year. Microprose, making games again. Anyway, I guarantee you it's almost an entirely new group of people. But Breath of Death 7, The Beginning, Reanimated, has been announced. It will be a remake of the turn-based parody RPG from, wow, a decade plus back now. Oh, I'm getting old. Anyway, it will have upgraded visuals as well as new UI, new soundtrack, new modes, and so forth. It looks like it'll release on the PC on December 12th. Tyrant's Realm has been announced for January 16th of 2025. It will be a roguelite action RPG that takes inspiration from old PlayStation 1 graphics. There is a demo currently available. Atomfall is set to release on March 27th of next year. It'll be an action RPG/adventure set in a post-nuclear Britain. It'll have scavenging and crafting elements. Monster Hunter Outlanders has been announced for mobile platforms. It will be a spin-off to the Monster Hunter series. There's no release date set, but it will target iOS and Android. As far as actual releases go, Dragon Quest III got its HD 2D remake released. It's done in a 3D style with 2D sprites upon it, and it covers the classic finale, but chronologically the first of the original Dragon Quest trilogy. VED also saw its release. It is a hand-drawn RPG that has been in development for over a decade, with turn-based combat set in 2 different worlds. Heistgeist saw its release. It is a card-based RPG in a cyberpunk world where you play a thief on the run after a failed heist. Warhammer 40,000 Inquisitor had a Hierophant class DLC released. Amazing to see them still releasing DLCs for that one. It adds an Inquisitor who can call upon acolytes to form a squad. Then Zoria the Shattering saw its DLC released, the Wildwalker class. It adds a new class focused on the natural world. 1428 Shadows over Silesia got a DLC called Tourney at the Bear Rock. It adds a night tournament with associated characters, a new adventure, and so forth. The Adventurers is now in early access. It is a turn-based tactical RPG where you lead a party of heroes in an open world filled with randomized events. Songs of Silence was released. It is a turn-based strategy game with RPG elements that includes both kingdom and army management. Everhome is a cozy casual RPG where the protagonist is spirited away to a mysterious island where she must establish a homestead and solve mysteries. Dungeons of Blood and Dream is an action RPG roguelike dungeon crawler with a sort of retro feel. I'm not sure how much of an RPG it is. It looks like a first-person action dungeon crawler, though, so there's that. Codex Lost is an open-world dark fantasy Souls-like. This is basically a spell-casting-focused action RPG. Envious is an action RPG with an isometric view and a 2.5D presentation. It has you playing a former soldier from a prestigious family tasked with attending the funeral of the late king when a mysterious tragedy occurs. Black Mountain Kings is an early access hack-and-slash Souls-like where you are set into a strange world and must figure out what to do there. I Am Future is another cozy-style farming/sim RPG where you build a cozy rooftop camp in a post-apocalyptic flooded city. Finally, there is Real Fishing, Days of Summer, a sports-based JRPG visual novel hybrid about fishing. And with that, we're going to move on to tabletop RPG news. It looks like Star Trek Adventures is getting a new starter set now available for pre-order on Modifius' site. It looks like it will ship sometime in January along with the digital version available right now. Then it looks like DC Heroes is going to get a new reprint for its 40th anniversary. There will be a Kickstarter for it at a later date, and I will cover it when it does. Onwards Towards Minor and PDF releases, Terra Lundus campaign setting is now available for Pathfinder and Starfinder. I'm assuming first edition. It offers player races, classes, and archetypes, as well as lore. Bloodstone Press has a few offerings for their Into the Wild series for Pathfinder First Edition. There is the Tawny playable race, a Fey-style creature, as well as Mountains and Volcanoes, which details some material for those terrains. Deeper Delvings of the Nameless Mage is a dungeon backdrop from Raging Swan Press. I'm assuming that it follows on to Dungeon of the Nameless Mage. I'm not 100%, but I believe so. It is available in Pathfinder 1st and 2nd editions, as well as D&D 5th edition and OSR formats. I believe a system-neutral one as well. Opus Fairy is a Pathfinder 2nd edition compatible collection of Fey creatures and magic items. Grim Press has a few in their 5th edition Dungeon Crawl series, the Cavern Crawl series. There is number 60, Howling Moon, number 61, Cursed Carnival, and number 62, Witchwood. Then Kelphasil's Tales has more in their series of 5th edition Monster Hunts, or short 5th edition adventures. There is Moonhair, Porcelain Golem, Dragon Hydra, and the Veiled Lady. The Wizard Remains is a dungeon crawl adventure used either in 5th edition or OSR style format, with guidance for both. Moreland's Tome of Mist and Mire is a 5th edition supplement with new spells, creatures, subclasses, and magic items, all based around a swamp. Chasing Clouds is another 5th edition offering. This one a low-level adventure dealing with a city where clouds have begun to gather, bringing more than just storms with them. Escape from Castle Calamity is a level 1 5th edition adventure set for newcomers to RPGs. Terra RPG has Introduction to the Astral Plane for 5th edition, which offers details on, of course, the astral planes. Cubicle 7 has 2 new entries into their Vault 5e collection of alternate material for 5th edition. There is Mortar and Pestle, which covers the arts of alchemy, and Hammer and Anvil, which does much the same for smithing and engineering. Wonderland is a 5th edition compatible role-playing setting based on the tales of Alice's adventures in Wonderland. Silver Eye's Guide to End City is a 5th edition guide to running a modern or cyberpunk game along with weapons and armor and so forth. N Publishing has some issues of Level Up Gate Pass Gazette out. Each one offers a variety of material for Advanced 5th edition. There is Gate Pass Gazette number 27 through number 29. Matron of Ravens is a level 4 adventure compatible with both 5th edition and Shadowdark from Elven Tower. Alms and Arms is a Shadowdark supplement offering specialized trades, new gear, weapon training, and so forth. Castle of Deceit, The Lure of Shadows, is a Shadowdark adventure where the characters are hired to clear a castle of hostile denizens. 12 Torches of the Shadowdark is another Shadowdark offering, this one detailing a dozen torches from various cultures in the world. Nashcraft Zine 1 Valhall is a Shadowdark zine with various classes, deities, blessings, and so forth inspired by Old Norse sagas. Smoke and Shadow is a guide to firearms in Shadowdark, offering new weapons, ammunition, powder types, as well as new classes and special rules. The Dream God's Idol is a Dungeon Crawl Classics-based adventure suited for first-level characters where the party is hired by an occultist and merchant to delve into a flooded tunnel system after a mysterious idol. Orbital Assault Vehicle is a guide for operators for a Dungeon Crawl Classics compatible that mixes modern technology with DCC RPG rules. So sort of a semi-modern / modern setting. Kosura, King of the Wasteland, is a silly city and wilderness setting for OSR systems, especially in Osric. I don't know why I said silly. It's a city and wilderness setting. It's actually pretty grimdark, but there is that. 2 Die 10 Games has a couple of classes for old school essentials. There is the Jester and the Undead Slayer. Gary's Appendix, Issue 6, is an old school essentials compatible compilation of articles and various information, rules, and guidelines inspired by the old AD&D Dungeon Master's Guide. The Matter Hag, Issue 2, is an OSR-compatible zine that has information on settlement building, guilds and factions, more adventuring equipment, and so on. Mazes, Module number 28, Forest Beneath the Pale Moon, is another adventure for the Mazes RPG dealing with an old elven stronghold. Dragonbane, Path of Glory, is an updated version of the first major adventure campaign for the original version of Dragonbane back in the 80s, given completely new illustrations, updated to the latest edition, and compiled into one volume. Carnage and Aether, Revenants of Valdonia, is available in print on demand and is an offering from Black Oath Entertainment, a tactical arena battler set in the same world as their Caer Nathalis RPG. Tiny Zine Issue 51 for Tiny Dungeon offers a variety of articles and material for Tiny Dungeon system. Columbia Games has a couple of offerings for the Harnmaster system. There is Agric, Order of the Copper Hook, and Order of the Fuming Gate. Each one offers a faction or knightly order in this case. The White Circle is a Call of Cthulhu scenario for the 1920s set in Minnesota. The Tomb of Memory is an Exalted Essence Jumpstart kit that has a full-length adventure, 10 ready-to-play characters, and the basic rules. Clan Book Bali 5th Edition is a deluxe, or 5th Edition Deluxe is a clan book for the World of Darkness. Hermit King Studios has a collection of bestiaries for Traveler, specifically the Mongoose 2nd Edition version. There are bestiaries 1, 3, 4, and 5. I believe that bestiary 2 is actually released a little bit earlier, so I think I covered that last week. I'm not sure. Anyway, Tuesday Night Games has several offerings for the Mothership Horror RPG, ranging from pamphlet modules to other material. There's Chromatic Transference, Piece by Piece, Cryonambulism, Hacker's Handbook, Terminal Delays at Anirin's Folly, Hideo's World, and finally The Haunting of Epsilon 14. And now onto crowdfunding campaigns. Remember that contributing to a crowdfunding campaign should be done only at your own risk. Doing so is no guarantee of even receiving a product mentioned here is not an endorsement, but is for informational purposes only. A few computer and console campaigns caught my eye this week. Last Worlds Cross Souls will be an open-world 3D action RPG where you explore a planet trying to discover the origins of your past. Then Lost Souls will be a turn-based action RPG meant to include an immersive narrative where three close friends are exploring a mysterious forest where there are claims that there may be a portal to another dimension. Onwards towards tabletop campaigns. The Lawful Good, Chaotic Evil, and the Meow will be the third chapter of the 5th edition series of adventures for the For a Kitten saga, which each takes their name from an old from a title of the Dollars Western series, which is interesting. Eldfjall's Fury will be a 5th edition adventure dealing with giants, elementals, and ancient dwarven secrets. Spectre Light will be a 5th edition compatible one-shot, as well as supplement with a grimdark theme. It'll include unique subclasses and new enemy types, spells, magic items, etc. A Dragon in Blandstone will be a starting adventure for 5th edition, suited for level 0 characters, with rules meant to take characters from peasants all the way up to actual adventurers. The Creature of Ebonfell Mines will be a murder mystery for 5th edition, set in Sablestone. It'll have Gothic and Victorian themes, as well as associated rules. Disgusting Diseases will be a trash adventure for the 5th edition in a sort of splatterpunk/gory aesthetic. The Clockwork Carnival will be a 5th edition one-shot revolving around a carnival. Constellations Descend, Capricorn, will be another in a series of 5th edition Zodiac-themed adventures. The Unsinkable Terrors of the Deep will be a 5th edition supplement with level 3 to 10 campaign, blending real history and Lovecraftian horror, I believe aboard the Titanic. Apocalypse from the Depths will be the last of a collection of adventures for 5th edition, a campaign designed to take heroes from 9th to 10th level. It will be the finale of a 3-part series from Adventure Ripples. Reborn Realms will be a set of 5+ isekai one-shot adventures, I don't know how to pronounce that, for 5th edition, where you bring your real-world self into a fantasy world, which, I don't know. The Palace of 1001 Rooms. Chapter 9, The Great Library, will be a semi-rules agnostic 5th edition /OSR flavored mega dungeon, or rather a continuation thereof, as they've put out several of these so far. In fact, 8 of them before, that's why this is Chapter 9. The Legend of the Shadowtide will be an epic D&D adventure featuring a mystical world where the characters are summoned to a port town where rumors of an ancient threat have begun to spread. Secrets of the Lost Mage will be a multi-location Tier 2 adventure for 5th edition that can be dropped into your world pretty much anywhere. The Book of Prestige will be a collection of 24 prestige classes, some classic, some unique, suited for 5th edition 2024 edition. Sigils of Power will be a 5th edition adventure with martial magic subclasses, unique monsters, various factions, conflicts, etc. Mistgate will be a third-party campaign setting for 5th edition, along with rules expansion that details a world where ancient magic has returned. Chronicles of Ivrea, War in the North, will be a 5th edition supplement, an adventure with a medieval Viking fantasy-inspired story. A Faeseeker's Guide to Avalon will be a tome of Celtic folkloric fantasy, along with clan origins, fae courts, weird monsters, and adventure sites for 5th edition, as well as the Legends of Avalon setting/game, which is a 5th edition based but separate RPG. Erathia, Dark Awakenings, will be a 5th edition compatible supplement and adventure with a steampunk theme. Greek Mythology Classifieds offers 2 new classes for 5th edition inspired by Greek mythology, this time Ares and Athena. Satjija's Tome of Hags will be a set of lore and material for the 5th edition, dealing with hags as well as witches and covens. There will be playable races, subclasses, spells, items, and so on. Battle Zoo Ancestries, Year of the Titans, looks to fund a set of playable species for 5th edition, with another released every month through 2025. Talon's Nefarious Contacts will be a set of 5th edition compatible NPCs and shops with an unlawful theme, anyone from smugglers to assassins, etc. Monstrous Menagerie 2, Hordes and Heroes, will be a collection of new monsters for 5th edition and level up advanced 5th edition style games. Masters of the Unseen will be a set of unique monsters for epic encounters for 5th edition with abilities and exclusive lore. Familiar Legends will be a collection of companions for 5th edition that can be used with any class along with an affinity system, unique items, and so forth. Swarms looks to detail 80 swarms of various vermin for 5th edition, Pathfinder 1st and 2nd edition, or Black Flag style campaigns. Complete Guide to Jousting will be a 5th edition supplement featuring jousting, including new mechanics, character backgrounds, new creatures, magic items, optional feats, events, and so on. Shadow of the Cursed Cathedral looks to be a Shadow Dark RPG adventure dealing with a demon-infested cathedral. DCC Massive Modules and More looks to be a holiday bundle, a goblin-themed one at that, with 2 folklore-inspired dungeons or adventures for Dungeon Crawl Classics along with related material. Populated Hexes Monthly, issue 40, is another entry into the OSR Zine series. This one deals with the City of Shadows as well as the surrounding Shadowlands. Fantasy RPG Zine double feature looks to cover Delver issue 16 as well as Runes issue 5. One of them is designed for Old School Essentials, the other for the Shadow Dark RPG. Each is the latest in their respective series. They've been ongoing for a while. Cults of Zahak will be a book of foes and organizations for Mithras Imperative and basic role-playing, which deals with cults, an ancient evil deity, new magic system, and so on. DM's Plot Twist Compendium looks to be a toolkit of twists and thrills for pretty much any fantasy system that can be used for inspiration. And finally, the Iron Coffin will be a mothership pamphlet module where you are the crew of a ship hired to smuggle a mysterious package with very little details aside from don't open the box. Now, on that note, I'm going to wrap things up here. This has been the RPG Crawler, my RPG News Roundup for November 16th, 2024. As always, links will be below. I got to be honest, I'm once again getting kind of demoralized because I don't, I know I haven't produced anything but the RPG News Roundups for a while. I've got a slew of reviews in the queue. I've been as I said, I've been dealing with family health issues. And aside from that, though, YouTube, my channel is doing really poorly as of last month. I'm used to getting limited growth, but it seemed last month is almost like my channel and my videos were taken completely out of cycle. It was weird. Hopefully that's just a hiccup. Sometimes YouTube does that where I'll get a month where it's like no one watched and I'm sitting here basically wondering if I'm just throwing these into the void. Because if that's the case, I got better things. I can just focus on reviews and maybe getting some of the Let's Plays up. But let me know if you got any ideas on what I can improve on this stuff. But I will be trying to revitalize things yet again. Hopefully bring back some stuff that I've been wanting to bring back for a while. I just need time. Anyway, until next time, take care and goodbye.
And if you are still watching, I would like to take the opportunity to thank my supporters, the top tiers of which are listed on the screen, without whose support I would not have been able to offer the variety of content that I have on this channel throughout the years. If you're feeling particularly generous and would like to join them, you can support the channel. There are a variety of options to do so. I have a Patreon, a Subscribestar, as well as channel memberships enabled. If you are not in a position to contribute, simply leaving a like, a comment, or sharing my videos are all wonderful ways to help the channel grow without spending a dime, and are all greatly appreciated.